Yeah, so Borealisk is a little silly. That's it. That's the intro. That's all you need to know. Let's first jump into the set slot, starting off with the offensive set. We're running 200 speed TPs to be as fast as possible. The 200 melee attack TPs will then let us hit as hard as possible. The 36 energy TPs at level 50 will give us a total of 225 energy, which will let us use 1 bulk up and then 4 icicle tremors or radiant rushes, or 5 cycle chomps, and then the 64 health TPs are leftovers. For the personality, we're going to want some combination of nimble and brawny. Personally, I'm going to go with very nimble to be as fast as possible. Then we're going to want clumsy because we aren't using our range attack stats, and then we have tender because we can remedy the melee defense lowering by using a bulk up. Then for the held item, we're going to want something offensive. I'm going to be running an ice essence, but you can switch this out for a Nolo essence or shell, that would be fine. Or you could also look into specialty boots or specialty gloves. Just make sure to switch out bulk up because you don't want to lock yourself into that move. Then for the ability, we're running the normal ability upper hand, which will boost the damage of our moves by 30% if we are the first Loomian to move in the turn. And then finally for the moves, we're running bulk up to let us deal more damage. Icicle Tremor is our strongest stab option, and then we have Radiant Rush and Cycle Chomp as our coverage options. Although there are other options like Light Dash, Undermine, or some people have actually looked into Deep Freeze on a mixed attacking Borealisk to hit things like Luminama. Now for the defensive set, we're running 200 speed TPs with a nimble personality to be as fast as possible. The 12 energy TPs at level 50 will give us a total of 220 energy, which will let us use 2 Bitter Colds, 2 Icicle Tremors and 1 Slumber, and you can also switch out an Icicle Tremor or Slumber for 2 bulk ups instead. And then the 200 health TPs, 88 range defense TPs, and a clever personality on top of that will give us as much range bulk as possible. For the held item, we're going to want something defensive. I'm personally using a health amulet to recover health back at the end of each turn, but you could switch this out for things like a milkshake, energy orb, or even mysterious dust. Then for the ability, we're running the secret ability Elusive, which will make the opponents deal 50% less damage to us if they have a status ailment. And then finally for the moves, we're running Bitter Call to freeze the opponents. Bulk Up will let us deal more damage, but it will also fix our way lower melee defense stats. Slumber will let us heal when we get too low in health, and it'll also clear us of status ailments ourselves. And then we have Icicle Tremor, which is our strongest stab option. Although there are some other options like Dodge, Near Enchantment, or even Fire Enchantment. And yeah, if you're wondering, this is the really silly Borealisk. But with that being said, let's hop into some battles now. Okay, I mean there's a few things we can hit super effective with like ice. Actually a lot of them. I'm not sure how good Borealisk is gonna do though. We're gonna have to like weaken a lot of things first, that's like the only issue. Or I need to get a bulk up off, which I can really only do against like what? Maybe Lashent's, maybe Dokomori? But this thing baffles and slows me down, this thing just pivots, so it's going to be really tough. We're going to go with the Banoki lead for the Nova, nice. Oh wait, aren't Novas now running boots? I have to worry about potentially running into a boots one right now? You're not boots. It is boots. No! I live! I live! Let's go, Banoki! Yes, right, Novadeus. Screw you, man. Look at this three-headed dragon. I think that actually is all alpha. Getting demolished by a banana monkey. How did I live that? That was so dumb. But I'm not complaining. That was actually probably one of the most annoying Loomians for Borealisk. And because it was boots, yeah, Borealisk just gets destroyed by it. I think we just hit the Luminami, right? Like, I don't really have a switch in. And if I just critical hit it like that, awesome. Awesome. Ooh, okay. Okay, I can't really say much, can I? That is really freaking good. I want to go Borealisk, but I haven't really weakened anything, so the bulk up, I'm gonna need like at least 2 of them, I think. We could maybe go into Borealisk now, though, I guess. I can't really go into anything else without like risking too much. Like, if I go Eliguana or Ikazune, I want to go for a Flash and Flee or Zip Zap, but they have Lashent to block Flash and Flee, Tyrex to block Zip Zap, so it's a little bit too risky. We can just go for bulk up here, though. I would assume Tyrex here, right? Yeah. I went for bulk up, so we didn't like waste too much energy. Borealisk has basically negative energy at this point, to be honest. Mostly waiting for the passive energy. We can go into your snack now. We could maybe take one hit from Tyrex if we want to, but I don't think it's really worth it. I think we just go your snack for the Tyrex. I would assume Vice Jaws or Scapegoat here. Vice Jaws. So we can't spam a lot of our moves, but we can go for a slap down and remove something's item because they're clearly gonna switch out now. Or they go for Scapegoat. That is fine. I'm not sure why you go for Scapegoat because Tyrex loses this 1v1 every time. Not every time. Like if you get good RNG, I guess you can technically win, but I feel like it's not really worth it. If I get this Tyrex weakened at all, my my Borealis just kind of deletes it, to be honest. Okay, they stay in and go for a Scapegoat again. I think one Heartbreak might just be enough to break it. Yeah, perfect. Because I'm not a Vice Jawed anymore, we're looking pretty good. We just keep doing that now. Like, we could go for a slapdown at here now, actually. Because I don't think they're going to go for a Scapegoat again. They should switch out now. Right? Come on. Let's see the switch out. There we are. Into Joltooth. This actually doesn't matter. I can't get rid of this thing's item. It doesn't have one to get rid of. Damn it. Oh, this is actually pretty rough. I don't really have a switch in for this. And I don't really want to sacrifice El Iguana, but I might have to. Or we just take the Primal Slash. It won't critical hit us. So we'll just baffle it. That's kind of the only thing I could have really done. We can go Ikazune, but I think we go Borealis. We have a light type move. I have Bulk Up. I kind of want to go for Bulk Up again, to be honest, and just expect the Tyrex switching in and then just try to 1v1 it. That might not be the best play low. I'll go for Radiance. Like, yeah, they could, in theory, go Lashent if they have it, but it's a terrible idea. I think it's a terrible idea if they go Lashent. They go Tyrex. Okay, so we'll get damage onto the Tyrex. Is it enough to two-shots? I think it actually is. I think I can two-shot that. I'm going to click Icicle Tremor. Although, actually, that would have been pretty risky. The Health Amulet did give it a little bit of a boost, so the Health Amulet might have saved it. But Lashent switches in on a Icicle Tremor. Little bit surprised about that one. I'm assuming they thought I was gloves or something, but they saw me click Bulk Up earlier, so I'm not entirely sure. The only issue now, though, is my Borealisk is out of energy. There's only one Loomian on their team that I can rest against, and it's Luminami. But how do I get Borealis into the battle against the Luminami without it flashing and fleeing? Don't know. Don't know. Oh, well, there's my answer, baby. How's it going, Luminami? I'm clicking rest, I think, guaranteed every time. I should live a hit, no matter what. They just go for flash and flee, that's fine, yeah. Borealis has really good range defense. We can take a lot of hits on that side if we need to. Tyrex is switching back in. Now this is, I would say, a little bit too risky. I don't know if I would really risk this anymore. So now I'm going to switch out into Eliguana? I think I go Eliguana here. We need to weaken it a little bit more. There's Vice Jaws, nice. Okay, so now we can actually go for Flash and Flee. We could. We'll go for Mudslide though. Scapegoat. I think one Mudslide should break it, right? Yeah. That's fine. Now we can go for the Flash and Flee. Come on, you gotta kill me, man. There's the Earthquake, there we are. There we are. Now we can go your snack and throw off a Baffle? Maybe? No, I think we just go Ikazune, right? We got rid of Lashent, so we just throw off a Flash and Flee. I think. I'm trying to manage to get Borealisk onto the field somehow. they stayed in, so I'm assuming they went for Earthquake. Right, Earthquake, let's see it. Vice Jaws. They can go for another one. I was kind of hoping they might KO me, to be honest. I don't think they can go for a Scapegoat low, so we can just always go for the Baffle here. Yep, Vice Jaws again. They do take me out, and they made a mistake. They gave me a bulk up. I think that is a pretty big mistake. They gave me a free bulk up. I'm taking it. I'm taking it. I don't care. I will take this, and I'm going to try my best with it. Okay, waiting out. So we can't go for another one. We have to hit them now. But I think that should be enough. We can just go for Ice Cold Tremor. It'll be enough to KO. It'll be close, but it should be enough to KO. Okay, good. Just wanted to double check that it went down. Just wanted to double check. Loomian Amazon, which we have Cycle Chomp to hit it. I think I'm just gonna hit it, to be honest, right? I can't really switch out. I don't have a Ursnack anymore, so I have to stay in. So I'm gonna hit it with a Cycle. How much do we do? I was kind of hoping for more. Wave Wrecker actually does a pretty good chunk to us as well. Okay. I'm gonna Cycle Chomp twice, I think. That's Luminami down. Oh my gosh, it actually lived. Damn. It actually lived. Well, I gotta go for a wait. Could go for a rest, but if they flail, they might knock us out. I could have also gone for a bulk up, but because I'm very low on energy, I need to make sure I have enough energy to hit the Jaw Tooth. If I don't, that could have been pretty bad. There's the flail. I just live. That's why we didn't go for the rests. And they actually knocked themselves out. Nice. Now, do I risk the Radiant Rush, or do I just go for Ice Cold Tremor? I think I should just go for Ice Cold Tremor. I just need damage, so my Ikazune can KO it. But why risk that when I can get the knockouts? I think I outspeed. I'm very nimble. Jawtooth can't be very nimble. And it's Soul Burst, so it can't be Boots either. Come on, baby. Come on. Hit it. Let's go. It's enough. Oh, that was really close, but damn, we pulled through. If I missed, I would have cried, because I think I would have just lost. Okay, and next up, let's go over the secret ability Elusive set. So, the main issue that we have right now is that Freeze hasn't been changed yet with the balance changes, because they haven't been added into the game yet. So, we're planning on mostly relying on Poison Barbs for the status elements, although, if we encounter any Toxic types, or maybe even any Air types that are immune to Poison, we can just go ahead and use the new move, Bitter Cold, to freeze them. The only issue, because this is still the old freeze, it also isn't a permanent status element. I think after like 3 turns, they can clear it. This is a Gamma Cosmere. No way it's regift, right? Okay, I think we're safe. I was really gonna be mad if it was Gamma Secret ability. That would be insane. Glad it isn't. Anyway, we got 1 layer Poison Barbs down. They have got a Terrafly, so they could get rid of it, so we're not going to sacrifice Scorpidemic, because if they get rid of them, we can try and set it back up later, after we get rid of Terrafly, maybe. Okay, so my only really tanky Ranger Loomian is kind of Eliguana. I guess we could also go into Borealisk right now, but I'm not really trying to risk any like big damage, although Eliguana is kind of my only Protagon switch in as well, so we have to be very careful with Eliguana. We're gonna go for Zip Zap. Almost click Flash and Flee, but we aren't trying to let Gastroke switch in for free. So yep, there we are. And this is poisoned. Gastroke, I think themselves actually could run poison. So I think here we actually go into Borealis just to threaten it back out immediately. Terrafly probably doesn't want to switch into a Borealis. Potentially an Ice-type move, so I think we're fine here. So I think we might be able to go for a free juicy bulk up, potentially. Okay, they do go for the withdrawal into Luminami. That is also fine. That is another Loomian poisoned. Okay, 2 bulky Loomians are poisoned, they're gonna do no damage to me, so I can go for as many bulk ups as I want. Also, yeah, only running one attacking move is pretty risky, and this is pretty like gimmicky, but I'm gonna try it, see if it works. Obviously, you can change up things if you want to. Okay, I'm gonna get a little greedy. I guess actually right now isn't super greedy. They're obviously gonna go for the Flash and Flee. But let's see, I would assume here maybe Protagon. Because I went for a couple of bulk ups, will Protagon get a range attack increase or melee? I'm hoping melee, but we're about to see. Oh no. So that is +1 Protagon, most likely with specialty goggles. Now, I could see how well I tank it, but we're probably not going to one-shot it in return. But it's probably not worth really doing anything. Now, obviously if I switch out, I'm going to lose my bulk ups, but it's not that bad. I could have wasted a lot more energy by firing off actually damaging moves. So here, we just always switch into Eliguana maybe? We could actually go Gobidemic because they haven't gone into Terrafly. We've kind of poisoned a majority of their team. The only one that we haven't poisoned yet is Cosmere from what we've seen. So yeah, we are going to switch out. I'm not really like risking any like critical hits, and +1, even though they'll do half damage to me, still a little bit risky. So I would rather wait until the Protagon is like maybe weakened. I could even remove it with my Eliguana. So yeah, we don't want to switch into Eliguana because a +1 Protagon is going to nuke us because we aren't full health. So we're just going to go for the Zip Zap. We don't want to let the Gas Stroke in. And if the Protagon stays in, we get to remove it. But yep, Gas Stroke again, and you obviously know what I'm going to switch back into. It's Borealisk time again. Oh, I'm actually surprised. Lay stayed in and actually went for the Soul Burst, so assuming clearly they didn't switch because the Soul Burst animation wouldn't happen, so what are they clicking? Are they clicking Photo thinking I'm going to go for bulk up, or are they going to go for maybe a poison? Stratagem should also get weakened in damage, so we honestly shouldn't really get hit by that too hard. There's Icicle Tremor, and that's Gas Stroke dead. That means now my Eliguana can just click Flash and Flee if I need to. But we're still going to click Zip Zap because Protagon and Luminami are weak to it, so either way, because we got rid of Gas Stroke and the Soul Burst, there's no threat now for my Zip Zap. Okay, Luminami is coming back in. This is fine. We're just going to go for the rest here. We aren't like too in need of going for some bulk ups yet. I would rather let the Protagon switch in first, to be honest, so it doesn't get a range attack increase, and then I can like switch out if I want to. Luminami is actually going to stay and start hitting me a little bit, but this is fine. Eventually, Luminami, if it doesn't have Rejuvenate, has to switch out because Poison's going to start taking away it. So here, we could go for a potential bulk up here. I don't think it's really necessary. We could go for an Icicle Tremor to like just start dealing a little bit of damage. I'm assuming Luminami is just going to stay in here, start maybe whittling away at my health, but nope, that's fine. And even if we get too low on health, we have got Slumber to remedy that. But yep, there's the Protagon. I mean, hey, as long as this like keeps getting weakened by like switching into the Poison Barbs, it does suck I didn't get a normal layer of Barbs down. That would be huge because they're switching a lot. But yeah, because they didn't get the range attack increase, we can just go into Eliguana here. Every time, we don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna assume Metal Blast. This is great. And also, because we're wasting the Protagon's energy, eventually I can just hit it with my Borealis if I need to just to remove it. But yeah, the fact that it has to like switch in before like the end of the turn, it gets ticked by one poison, and then because it stays in and attacks, it gets hit with another poison, so we're whittling down at his health quite a lot right now. And because Cosmere is actually poisoned, I can go back into Borealisk and start potentially setting up if I want to. I'm going to go for the Zip Zap Blow just to see what they do. They are going to start going for some Peace of Minds, which is pretty scary. Here, low, actually that means that we know that they aren't specialty boots. I can just go into my Bannock. Like, yeah, Cosmere Cracked is fairly bulky on the melee defense side, but Bannock hits like a freaking truck, so I think we're completely fine just to throw off a Raging Tackle. Yeah, I have got Slap Down, but it might be Rageful plushie. I don't really want to gamble that. So let's just potentially remove it. We do. And if they swap out into Luminami, I'll chunk that as well. I ain't complaining. But yeah, that's actually good though in the long run, because we got rid of a setup sweeper. That like could eventually break through my Borealisk, especially if they get a critical hit. And I could just lose on the spot if I didn't bring out Banuki right there. So I will gladly take that. Here, we're going to go back into Borealisk. We aren't trying to stay in. Like, yeah, I could stay in, nuke the Luminami, but there's not really needs. I do go for the Flash on Flea, but hey, Luminami is out of energy, so eventually it's going to need to switch back in to go for a rest. This should be Protagon. Yeah, but again, because they're not hard switching into Protagon, actually, even if it is a hard switch, does it matter? But it gets ticked by poison because it comes in before the turn has ended. So I mean, hey, yeah, actually, I think even if it hard switches in, I think it still takes the poison damage. So there isn't really any way they can bring in the Protagon unless they bring it in as a revenge killer, I guess, to avoid the poison extra tick. But you know what we're gonna do, right? Right back into El Iguana. This is great because, like, yeah, because I'm pairing it with poison, it also could have been even better if I got toxic poison. But if there's like one Loomian that I really don't want to deal with and it doesn't have like recovery, I could just toxic stall it a little bit. Now it's in range, I'm pretty sure, for an Icicle Tremor, so I could just start staying in and maybe attacking it. We just go for Zip Zap here low. We're still not sure what our last Loomian is. If it's Terrafly, that's going to be really funny. It is Dragodine. Okay, so this is actually one of the Loomians that is immune to poison. So this is actually a way we're going to throw off a Bitter Touch. Dragodine is pretty scary, huge range attack stat, hasn't gotten hit with a status ailment yet, so it could actually hit us fairly hard. But because we're running Nimble max speed, we should outspeed it. If it outspeeds us, I think it most likely has to be boost, right? But nope, they go for the withdrawal immediately. Honestly pretty smart, but I have health amulet, so I'm gonna get quite a lot of health back. Here then, I'm gonna go for the wait to get all of my energy back, while they Flash and Flee? Nope, they let it get enough rest, honestly pretty smart. I could have gone for rest as well there, to be honest. Okay, well, I'm gonna go for a bulk up here. I mean, it doesn't really matter what I do, I just don't want to like really waste energy. They're just gonna go for the Flash and Flee. I would assume back into Protagon. We could maybe try and take the gamble. Let's actually see. Does it get a range attack increase, or does it get melee? It still gets melee. I'm gonna damage calc this, because Borealisk is dumb bulky. We might tank it. It's just that the specialty goggles is pretty scary. Okay, so I just looked it up. Apparently it didn't even one-shot me, even without my ability. I could have stayed in this entire time. So yeah, here I could have actually gone for Slumber to get some health back. Yeah, it does nothing. So yeah, if you want to wonder why this broken ability exists, okay, I'm gonna throw IE under the bus. He said Borealisk is a pure ice type. That typing sucks anyway defensively, so it's fine, right? So if you want to blame anyone, I'm gonna throw him under the bus. But yeah, if this ability does seem to be too strong after the yeah, and that's just a forfeit because they physically can't get through me anymore. It's like my Borealisk just sits on the field now and they can't hit me. Like the Luminami would be pretty annoying because obviously if it has Rejuvenate, it is just going to be like, okay, I got to get to +6 melee attack and then I got to try and deal with it with a poison. So yeah, but after the Bitter Cold or Freeze change, once it's like permanent and it lowers opponents' range attack stats, basically just a range version of Burn, I might go ahead and nerf the ability. Instead of if the opponent has a status element, I might make it so if Borealisk has a status element. So basically, just flip it. So yeah, I could go for another battle, and I think I will. Okay then, hopping into the next battle, I don't see any Toxic type Loomians, although I do see 2 Air type Loomians, and they're both kind of scary. One has potentially Rogue Assault, one is probably Soul Burst Stratosaur. I saw the Icicle, but then I realized, like, they only have like 3 slow Loomians, so that's probably not Soul Bursts. Okay then, let's go for the Gobidemic lead and try and get some Poison Babs down. That is a Gargolem. High chances of it being clutch plushie, I guess we'll see. Maybe Poison Babs aren't actually worth it in the long run, because if they just go Stratosaur, they could potentially get rid of them, but I'm gonna get 1 layer down now. If I can potentially poison some things right now, I will take it. There's an Icicle. Could go for Icicle Trap. Surprisingly didn't hit me, but I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to switch out. Maybe they didn't want their Gargolem losing Clutch Push it immediately, right? Maybe. Maybe. Here, low, we're going to go into Dokkamori. I only have one offensive Loomian, which is my Borealisk. That might be a problem. My goal is, I want to Dokkamori, even though I'm going to take the Ice Hammer pretty badly. Ouch. I want Icicle Traps as well to actually threaten that Gargolem attack. Here, then, I think I'm actually just going to go for Icicle Trap. They stay in, they're most likely going to hit me with a Nolar, Oh no, they actually go for Baffle here. This should be Stratosaur. This is fine though, because we get to see what they brought, or if they brought it all. Which, yeah, if they're going to go into something, it should be Stratosaur for Gust. If we have Gust, maybe they don't. Hopefully they don't. And it is Azeroth. Okay, that is to melt the Icicle Traps, which, yeah, that's fine. I also just realized that is a Fire type, so oof, Borealisk does not do super well into that, not gonna lie. Here, then, we're gonna go into... They only really have Your Snack as a switch in, so I guess we're going into that. Never mind, they go for a double switch into Gargolem. I mean, yeah, they did melt a little bit of the Icicle Traps, but not fully. So if like Gargolem attack it did have Clutch Push it still just lost it. My Your Snack isn't in like the greatest situation here, but that's fine. I could go for Slap Down. I think I'm just going to go for Baffle. If I lower this thing's speed or Stratosaur speed, Icicle, that doesn't really matter. And it got poisoned. Okay. I think we just go Borealis now, right? Maybe go for a Bulk Up. I think that seems like a plan. We could also go back into Gobademic for some normal barbs. Since they're switching a lot, crit damage would be nice. But I'm gonna go Borealis and click Bulk Up. They do go into Luminami, that is fine. That is poison on so much, and it looks like they don't have Stratosaur, so I'm gonna assume they don't have any means to get rid of these traps now, which is actually great. They probably switched out thinking I was gonna Radiant Rush, which honestly smart play for them. We're just gonna go for Bulk Up again. The main issue is that Gargolem, though. That Gargolem is gonna threaten big damage because it doesn't have the status elements. I need to hit it with a Bitter Cold, but I can't really hit it with a Bitter Cold because all of the ways that they're going to get Gargolem into the battle is all slow, bulky pivoters, like Lashent if they actually brought that, Luminami, Baffle, Icicle. So yeah. But hey, their Gargolem has taken a lot of chip damage, so I'm not complaining. Hirlo, I guess we could do a damage calc. I mean, I basically doubled my melee defense. Let's do a damage calc. Okay, so it looks like I actually can take a hit from it. I don't know if it's gonna be gloves, but I could just go ahead and remove this now, which honestly, probably the right play. I'm just gonna hit it, I think. They will outspeed me. Oh, it's actually Boom Bash. That, I think, actually would have done way more damage to me than Rogue Assault, funny enough. But that's fine. Now, I believe everything else on their team is going to get poisoned, and I have Slumber, so we can actually get rid of this low health. Azeroth is actually really scary low. Time to do another damage calc. How well do we live this? Okay, I think it depends. If it's boots and I go for a Slumber, there's maybe a chance I might live. If it's gloves low, there's a good chance I just die. So I think we actually just switch out Borealisk here. We can just go for a Slumber later and we can just try and weaken the Azeroth. Good news is low. Icicle Traps are gone, so I can set them back up if I want to, potentially later on, but I don't really need them anymore. It was mostly for the Gargolem, and we now have got rid of that. There's Boiling Press, that's fine. Critical hit. Really good job, Len. I switched out. I would have instantly died. I don't think it actually mattered then, if there were gloves or not. And then here, we can go for a Baffle and actually get our, right? Yeah, I think we Baffle, we get Borealisk into the battle again, and we just click Slumber to start getting health back. There's the Icicle. We don't really care about Icicle. Or maybe we go for some more barbs. Clearly they're gonna be doing a lot of switching, so I don't really see an issue with this. Yep, I actually don't see an issue with this. If they're gonna be switching a lot with Baffle like I do, I can't blame them for it. If it works, it works. Well, if they're gonna be doing a lot of switching, we might as well punish them. Also, I think that fight literally did half health to me, so we could just go for another Babs and maybe we live a damage roll. Maybe we live a damage roll. There's like a decent chance we live here, but there's also a decent chance we just die. So let's see. I die. But hey, 2 Babs is fine. A lot of things are already poisoned, so we don't really need the second layer of poison Babs, so I'll take that. And then here, I think we can just go Borealisk and click Slumber. The main issue is I don't really want to switch out after I click Slumber, because that means I'm going to have to like wait a couple of turns to get all my health back. But either way, we're just going to click it. We want to try and get health back as fast as possible right now, so we don't have to like worry about potentially Icicle KOing us by hitting us with a critical hit. And yep, there's the Arceros. This is what we want. We want poison to start ticking them, and the normal Barbs as well. And Arceros is already under half health, don't mind if I do. Heerlin is pretty easy, we just always go into your snack. We can probably assume this Arceros is most likely specialty item, either boots or gloves, we don't really know. If it's gloves, I actually will outspeed it with my Borealisk, but I only have Ice-type moves, so it's not really worth it. But the fact that they're staying in and they're sending it out against a Borealisk leads me to believe it is most likely boots. A lot of people have actually been running boots now in Arceros. Their speed lowered, we'll take that. Heerlin, I think we just go Eliguana. I'm assuming they're trapped into whatever move Lee just clicked. I think it was Boiling Press. We probably could have slapped down there, and then Borealisk I think just wins, to be honest. Okay then, here I'm just going to go Eliguana and click Zip Zap, because we don't know if they have Lashent, and guess what? They did have it. And now, it's freaking poisoned. Love to see that. If this is actually Sap Plant Lashent, that would be a little bit annoying, I'm not gonna lie, but I don't think we have to really worry too much. We could go Borealisk, and just invite the Arceros back in. I'm pretty sure the Arceros just dies to Barbs if it switches back in. So, yeah, I think we'll go Borealisk. We should get a Health Amulet, health boost here. Nice. And then we can try and waste the turns for Slumber. That is like kind of the only issue with like Slumber. Once you switch out, you put yourself in a position where you're forced to sleep for a couple of turns. Lashent is poison low, so it shouldn't really do too much to me here. Slapdown will remove my health amulet, but yeah, it does like no damage. It needs to critical hit us to actually get rid of us. So once I just wake up, I'll go for another Slumber. We could actually go for a Bulk Up. Yeah, let's go for a Bulk Up and then a Slumber, I think. Might be the right play. Oh, it's next turn I wake up. There's Fade Away. That's fine. Their switch-in will probably be Astaros, but it should faint, right? There it is. Hi! There's the chip damage, and there's the poison tick, which should knock it out. And that is that. Okay. Well, now it's like 3 fairly bulky Loomians, right? Yeah, Icicle. If I wake up, I think we just go for Slumber here. And they forfeit. I mean, yeah. That's 2 forfeits in a row. I think it goes to show you. Once they realize, oh, this is elusive and I'm doing no damage. Once they lose, like, their Loomians that actually deal damage to not Astaros, like Astaros and Gargolem, like their attackers that do damage to my Borealisk, and once they're left like bulky Loomians, they physically can't get through Borealisk. Also, it does help that I have Slumber, so yeah, what can I say? Borealisk elusive is a little silly, I'm not gonna lie. I think I'll leave off there though. We could keep going until I get an actual good battle with Borealisk, but I'm playing ranked. People aren't gonna like want to waste time like sitting in the battle, letting me slowly chip away at like stuff like their Luminami. It's just not gonna happen.